spot for the next hour. This will put you in a nice contemplative mode. God's Spirit is in this very room. So welcome. Happy Father's Day. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Sunday. Let's begin with a spiritual mind treatment to just center ourselves as we approach the morning's activity of knowing our truth. That this is a spiritual universe. There is only one thing, Spirit itself. And today, on Father's Day, I remind myself that Spirit is often referred to as our Father. The Father within, the Father without. As I give thanks for life itself, this thing called life. And I know that we have come together for a wonderful reason, to celebrate this thing called life. And I know that there is good for each of us right now, this very morning, as this adventure in creative living unfolds in new and wonderful ways for each one of us as we create an experience together that has never existed before, with new thoughts, new energy, and a new zest for living. So I give thanks for all the healing that is already being revealed this morning. I give thanks for all the good that is unfolding in each and every person's life right here, right now. I give thanks for all the abundance that is being demonstrated. I give thanks for the good that has brought us together into this community of loving relationship with Spirit itself. I know there is good here. I give thanks. I turn this treatment over to Spirit, knowing it is done and inviting you to say with me, and so it is. We have a beautiful contemplative song called When I Pray, and you're welcome to close your eyes and just feel the love of the music or sing along, or both. right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Wasn't that beautiful? It's so great to have Cahill and Talene with us today.
Thank you.
We love being here. So I'm Reverend Kate, and it's my pleasure to welcome everyone on this Father's Day and Juneteenth, and happy Sunday. It's great to be here together. So this center is based on the knowledge that there is one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. And so I would like to invite Pat Walker to come up and light our candles for us. So please join me as we honor the unifying nature of spiritual thought and experiences as we light these flames of faith, acknowledging all people and all faiths symbolized by these 6 candles. First, we light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the ethical path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for Buddhism, honoring the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. And we light a candle for Islam, honoring a path of peace through submission to the will of God. And finally, I'd like to invite you to just take a moment. If you'd like to place your hand over your heart, as we recognize together the light that is always shining, as we honor our metaphysical path of wholeness, oneness, and mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. Thank you. Our statement of truth at this center is that there is a power for good in the universe and you can use it. And the mission of our center is to teach, demonstrate, and inspire a positive spiritual approach to living. And now is the perfect time to put your cell phone on silent while I give just a few announcements. So if this is your first visit to our center, we want to give you a special warm welcome and invite you to sign our guest book, to stay for fellowship, to meet a few people, and to ask questions. We're really happy to have you here, and we're happy to have everyone here. And if anyone else is not getting the Thursday late at night email, or the Friday morning email, please sign the guest book again, or let Jan or me know that you're not getting the email. I just want to restate a word about masks. If you're wearing a mask to the grocery store, please feel free to wear a mask here. Masks are always welcome. And let's try to remember to ask permission before we start hugging each other, because we want everyone to feel comfortable here, no matter what their situation may be. So this center is a community center. It exists because of everyone here and our volunteers. And if you would like to volunteer, the sign-up sheet is in the lobby. And today I want to give a special thanks to Reverend Maureen. Yay, she's back. Yeah. And looks very good with her new hip walking around. Reverend Maureen will be speaking next week and also offering a workshop after the service. So be sure to come and plan on that. I want to give a special thanks to Juanita for the beautiful flowers today. And they put a little owl in to celebrate the wisdom of our Father, so isn't that nice? And I want to thank Catalina for being our greeter and Harley for bringing the refreshments. Yay! Thank you, everybody. And okay, refreshments get the biggest hand. And once again, I want to thank practitioner Larry for doing the recording, and he is looking for an understudy. We're also looking for someone who might be interested in working with children. Hopefully, as we grow and get back going, we'll be able to have Cosmic Kids restart as an actual program again. So let's just put that out there as something good. So we have been collecting donations to fund the Memorial Gratitude Well in India. And knowing that the law of attraction works wonders, Reverend Lori contacted me and said, well, the Power of 8 workshop was so wonderful. People were so enthused and participated. Why don't I just give a class called The Power of 8? So what's going to happen is on January 3rd, she's going to speak. No, oh, January? Oops, July. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Just pitch in. You know, if I say something totally wrong, just let me know. But now you'll remember, right? But no, it wasn't on purpose. Okay, so on July 3rd, that is 4th of July weekend, so we're not anticipating people are going to want to stay late. So we're just going to have a regular service on July 3rd, and she will be talking about the power of 8. Then the following Sunday, and for the rest of the Sundays during July, she's going to give a 2-hour class on the power of 8. So if you were at the workshop, you know how it works. You take turns, and that will give each person an opportunity to be the focus of intention. So what we're doing is we're going to charge $100 for the class. And all of that $100 is going to go for the Will Project. So anyway, that's the Power of Attraction at Work. So next week we have a workshop, no charge. It'll be shorter by Reverend Maureen called Upping It, right? Because we've been talking about manifestation. So this is going to be upping it, upping your practice. And then starting on July 10th, we'll have the Power of 8 class. You don't need to sign up for the workshop, but you do need to sign up for the class, and the sign-up sheet is in the lobby. Well, did I forget any announcements? Okay, just remember to take your car with you when you leave, because we do lock the parking lot. So now, if you could look in your programs and find the group reading and join me in reading it aloud together. God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect love and perfect abundance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect abundance. And let's stand for our group song.
All right, we have a song called Holy, Holy Way, and it's a call and response. You don't need lyrics. You can put down your program, your bulletin, and this is a call and response. So I will call, and Cahill and you will respond. It's very easy. You'll catch on real quick. Nice chance to be energized and sing and dance.
Let me love
Affirmative prayer is our spiritual gift to you on Sundays. So in the lobby, there's a table right next to the class sign-up. There's a box where you can put a prayer treatment request. There are forms you can fill out. You can also write on the back. If you would like a call or an email, please write that on the back so we can contact you. If you just want us to do a treatment for you, that's fine. Just put it in there. You can fold it in half for privacy, and our spiritual team of ministers and practitioners will do prayer treatment for you during the week. And if you would like to speak to one of us after the service, that's also possible. So, who's available today after the service? Dr. Ahmondra, Practitioner Larry, Reverend Maureen, Dr. Maddie, we're available for you. I remember, oh yeah, Morgan. Sorry.
Am I up?
Yes. Morgan, I would like you to all welcome Morgan as she comes up to give us an inspirational reading.
Our reading today is from the book This Thing Called You by Ernest Holmes, our founder of our spiritual philosophy, Science of Mind. Divine power exists everywhere and takes form for you through your ideas and your faith. You neither create this energy nor hold it in place. All that your faith does is to form a mold through which it may take a temporary form. Life is a mirror reflecting your images of thought. Learn to sit at home with the cause to affirm your position in life, to remold your consciousness, and you will see that the reflections will change. Say to yourself, I know that when I speak this word for myself, there is a direct reaction toward me. I know there is no doubt or uncertainty in my consciousness. I have complete confidence that the law of good will respond to me by recreating the object of this desire. I am free spirit. I am perfect life. I am in conscious union with the God who is right where I am. I know that I can make conscious use of the divine law of my being. I have the power to reside in a consciousness of my choosing. And so it is.
Well, happy Father's Day to all the fathers here, and happy Juneteenth as well. We are going to kind of focus in on Father's Day today because we have this great song by our good friend Joe Rathburn. This is called The Dad I Had. Now, for some of you, maybe your dad is still here on this earth plane, but I think for most of us looking at your faces, our dads have gone to the great beyond. And that's perfectly fine. So let's celebrate that too, okay?
How'd you put that in words?
Oh, the dad I had was a typical dad. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't half bad. He's half why I'm here, and for that I'm glad. Oh, I'm lucky to have had the dad I had. Oh, the dad I had met a girl named Mom, took her out to the senior prom. He stole her from a would-have-been dad named Tom. Oh, the dad I had met a girl named Mom. And the dad I had, he worked all his life to have nice things for the kids and wife. I think he killed the bear with a Bowie knife. Was the dad I had, he worked all his life. And the dad I had, he was awful smart. He could put it back together when I took it apart. He taught me how to whistle and to armpit. Oh, the dad I had, he was awful smart, and he did the best he could with what he had. Most of what he had, he got from his dad. He was brave and strong, could have whooped 100 other dads all day long, but he never would have done it because it would have been wrong, because the dad I had, he was brave and strong. And the dad I had didn't seem to care about the color of your skin or the cut of your hair. If you did good work, he treats you square, because the dad I had always tried to be fair. And the dad I had, he believed in God, did his praying every Sunday with his fishing rod. So when he met St. Peter, now he got the nod. 'Cause the dad I had, he believed in God, and he did the best he could with what he had. And most of what he had, he got from his dad. Oh, the dad I had, he was a typical dad. He wasn't perfect, but he wasn't half bad. He's half a white hair, and for that I'm glad. I'm lucky to have had the dad I had. Sung by Joe Ratcliffe. Thank you.
Well, it's that time. It's that time when I get to introduce our speaker, who I believe most of you know, Reverend Dr. Ahmondra, who, and this is also the law of attraction, because I was like, you really want to speak for us again soon, don't you? And she's like, yes. So let's welcome Reverend Dr. Ahmondra. Oh, okay.
Good morning, church.
Good morning, church.
Happy Father's Day to all our fathers and our father figures, and happy Juneteenth. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with our hands, I give these to you because in the traditional African American church, when the minister was speaking and you liked it, you say, amen, hallelujah. And so I know I'm not in a traditional African American church. So I had to figure out a way for you to say, amen, hallelujah. This is it. Okay. So this morning, my talk is called, What is Your Zip Code? Now, how many of you in here know your zip code? Raise your hand. Keep them up so I can see. What is, okay, yeah. So we know what our zip codes are. Why is that? What happened that all of us know our zip codes? How many of you know your driver's license number? Oh, okay, few. But the zip code. So I want to give you a little history about this zip code. Now bear with me, okay? So around 1943, in the United States, we were getting ready to go into World War II. And the Postal Service was losing thousands of the postal workers. These original postal workers knew where people lived. And they'd get the mail and they'd just go around the corner, down the house, down the street to Joey's house. We knew Joey lived there. But when they left and went into the war effort, the Postal Service hired thousands of new people. They had no idea of how to sort the mail or where the mail was supposed to go. So the Postal Service came up with something called a postal code. Remember back in the day we had a postal code that had 2 numbers? I was 24. There we go. We got it. So, but that wasn't a national code. It only represented 124 of the major urban areas in the United States. And it was only 2 numbers. But everybody accepted that code. And they accepted it because they wanted to support the war effort, but they also accepted it because, remember, all of those thousands of people that went in the war started writing letters. And then here, we started writing letters to them. So all of a sudden, mail increased. And this postal code helped those new workers to get that mail delivered and get it delivered quickly and completely. That lasted for like 40 years. In 1963, someone came up with this great idea. They're like, you know what? We have this new technology coming along. This technology will allow us to begin to sort the mail mechanically. So we need to improve upon this postal code. So what they did, they divided the nation into 10 different districts. I'm a little loud. I'm starting to get some feedback. Thank you. And so when they divided the nation, they had way up in East Coast, in the time looking like that, the East Coast to the West Coast. And it was 9 different zones. That was one gentleman. Then another gentleman came up with an idea. It was like, okay, well, we got 9 zones in the United States. Why doesn't each state begin to break it down even more? So they break it down by the state. That was national. Then they break it down by the cities. Then they broke it down by the neighborhoods. So now we have this amazing code, but it's called the Zone Improvement Plan. Zip code. Zone Improvement Plan. Ah, so now you know what zip means. Okay. So then we were all happy and people were, they were excited. But something occurred. When they did that zip code, that zone improvement plan, they were only doing it to make mail more efficient. But something else happened. This huge socio-economic phenomenon happened in the world. The code started organizing communities. And they displayed demographic information. People started being identified by their zip codes. How many of you remember that TV show, Beverly Hills 90210? Okay? Yes. That's important because remember Beverly Hills 90210. If you live in 90210, you are like in. But if you live in public housing, like I did, 94124, you was like, not that cool. That's what started happening in the United States. Insurance companies, real estate companies, they picked up this whole, whoa, we can identify people by their demographics. And that's what they started doing. Magazines started coming out. And advertisers started, whoa, we can identify people by their different areas and we can market to them. And what started happening for us is we started getting junk mail. And it started coming like, whoa. And it was specifically targeted to those particular zip codes. Over the years, zip codes have grown into a place now, they don't even need your name. You just give them the credit card and your zip code number, and they know who you are. Right? So, Why is it that we know our zip code? Well, when they decided to introduce this to us in 1962, they only gave themselves a year to get this out. So they did this massive campaign. Probably some of you remember that little zip code man. He was everywhere, the zip code man. And they conditioned us to thinking that this is amazing, and we all just automatically remembered it. And now when we move, we just first thing we do, what's my zip code? What's my zip code? And we put it in our mind. It identifies us in the physical world, our zip code, that zone improvement plan. So I have another question for you. Just shared that history with you. What is your spiritual zip code? How many of you know that? 911. 1111. Okay. I appreciate those answers. Why is it that we don't know our spiritual zip code? We have one. We are divine beings. That history I gave you was for our physical world, our visible world. But we came from an invisible world. And when we showed up here, we had a zip code. The zip code was a zip code that's happening right now. That's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is that we are joyous, happy, divine, free beings. That's our spiritual zip code. When we showed up in the now, and we showed up joyous, happy, and free. If you look at a baby, especially if the baby has not been impacted by something in utero, that's how they express when they get here. They show up with their own code. It's a divine code. We all have the same one. Doesn't matter where you come, where you're born, none of that matters. Okay, so when we get here and we arrive, we're on the physical plane, there's somebody standing there to give us a zone improvement plan. Give us a zip code. They're like waiting with a pen and paper. They're like, okay, all right, here comes the zip code. He, she, that's a girl, that's a boy, that's a black girl, that's a white boy. They live in this area, they're rich, they're poor. Whatever it is, we begin to get improved upon. And that improvement continues throughout our life. Into the place where we don't even realize that we had an original code. It didn't need to be improved upon. And every time we move into a different phase of life, guess what? We get something added on to our zip code, a zone improvement plan. And it gets to a place where the zip code about this long, okay? And we remember all of them. Because every time we move in our life, we add something on. And we remember what that is. And it moves us into a place where we're no longer all the time joyous, happy, and free. And we're no longer living in the now. We're either living back there or we're living over there. So this month, our whole theme is on manifestation. Ernest Holmes says this: we learned that persistent constructive thought is the greatest power known and the most effective. Now we understand that the circumstances change in our life. We also know that there's a law. I want you to stretch your imagination, and I want us to begin to understand. Let us create a spiritual zip code together. You have that power. It's right here with you right now. You don't need to know what is going to happen when you think about what it is you want to come into your life. You don't need to think about how. You don't need to think about when. You just hold the consciousness that it is going to happen. We use a law that's invisible. We use it all the time. And what our teaching tells us is that we can use it consciously. And when we use it consciously, we take control and we can put our original code back in place. and be joyous, happy, and free. Today is Juneteenth, so I want to share something with you. Juneteenth is a holiday for June 19th, and it's celebrated by African Americans. And let me tell you how this came about. Thank you. So, in 1865, federal troops went into Galveston, Texas. And they went into Galveston, Texas to free those individuals who were still in captivity. Now check this out. That's 1865. The Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1863. And Texas was like, oh, okay, well, we're not recognizing that. We got it going on over here. We're going to just keep doing what we're doing. Federal government said no. They sent in troops. And 250,000 people were allowed to participate in freedom. For 246 years, African Americans were in that state of captivity. That was their zip code. But their original zip code, their original code was freedom. And they never ever stopped identifying with their original zip code. Now think about this. 8 generations, they held that original code. And what they were doing, they were manifesting that zip code called freedom. We didn't go to war. We didn't fight a civil war for our freedom. We manifested it. Epigenetics is a study of DNA. It tells us that we pass things on to others in our DNA. 8 generations continue to pass on this code of freedom. And until it hit, and the law of cause and effect created freedom. That is amazing. That is how African Americans moved out of the zip code called captivity into the zip code called freedom. A whole nation was changed. A whole race of people came out of one zip code into another zip code. But because they held that manifestation in their minds. They never let it go. We can do the same. We can do the same. We can hold our original zip code in our consciousness and say, this is what I want. I want joy. I want happiness. I want freedom. And it will be manifested. For 156 years, African Americans have been celebrating Juneteenth. That was an amazing thing to happen. But it took this country 156 years before the government decided to make it a national holiday. And Joe Biden did that last year. So it's a national holiday. That's why you're hearing more about it. And that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Because I'm giving you the history. You're going to go out and you're going to give other people the history. And it's going to pass, and it's going to pass, and it's going to pass. And we all are going to move into a new zip code. Because we're going to hold a new manifestation in our minds. Amen. So, it's our birthright. Joyous, happy, and free. That's who we are. So in closing, I want to share this with you. Let us create a new zone improvement plan. Okay? So I invite you to examine your current spiritual zip code. Where are you at? What is it? And I invite you to bring some clarity to it so that you can begin to understand what it is you want to manifest. So you might find that you're living in a zip code where there's ill health or the thought of ill health. You can create a new zone improvement plan and have it be a place of wellness. You may be in a place where your finances are low. You have thoughts, my finances are low. Create a new zone improvement plan where you manifest unlimited finances, abundance. You might be in a situation where you definitely could use more resources. Create a new zone improvement plan. I have all the resources I need. I have resources I didn't even know I needed. They're here. Whatever we can manifest in our consciousness, it will show up in our world. I want to give you another quote from Ernest Holmes. Man's conscious thought, acting through law, may change any condition in his experience, provided he can clearly conceive of such conditions can be changed. I just gave you a perfect example. Amazing shift in consciousness, race consciousness. So, steps to creating a new zone improvement plan, a new zip code. Just have a mental idea of what it is you want. First, get clarity on where you are. Then create a mental idea of what it is that you really want. Hold that idea in consciousness no matter what the outside circumstances look like. Doesn't matter what they look like. Ignore them. Hold it in your mind. Put practices in place that support your new ideas. And we say this almost every Sunday. We say this. Meditation, readings, hanging out with like-minded people. COVID has made it so where now we can go online and hang out with like-minded people. That's a blessing. Conduct research on what resources are out there. You may desire to have something, and because you don't see it or you don't know, you think it's not there, but guess what? It's there. Do some research. And then ask others to hold that consciousness with you. That's why we say every Sunday, if you want support, call on one of the practitioners, call on one of the ministers. We will hold that thought and consciousness for you. Because we're all connected by energy. I don't have to be sitting next to you to hold that consciousness. We have proof in our community all the time how healings occur, how finances improve. Because someone asks for treatment. And treatment just simply means that I'm going to treat my consciousness over here for you. And I'm going to hold that thought and consciousness, and it's going to go into the creative force of the universe, and guess what? It's going to show up in your life. Because I'm saying that's your truth. So maybe you only need small improvements. Maybe there's just a habit you want to change, a consciousness that you want to cultivate. Maybe it's something like small, not huge. That's okay. Get clear on it. And just stand there. And I also want to remind you before I close, you can assist someone else. It's not just about you. You can assist our nation. I just gave you an example of how the whole nation's consciousness was shifted. Everybody wasn't African American who was holding that consciousness. We know that. The first abolitionists were Quakers. They were holding that consciousness. So we can hold the consciousness for our country, that it return to its original code, joyous, happy, peaceful, free. Take that with you. Happy Father's Day, happy Juneteenth. Thank you. I add a blessing to you, and I add a blessing to these words. Thank you.
Reverend Ahmondra, that was absolutely a wonderful talk that's going to inspire us the whole week. I really mean that. It was beautiful. Yeah. Let's give her another. So if I had known the focus of today, we would have done our song Shades of Brown, which is exactly talking about racism and getting over that and that sort of thing. So if you want to buy our CD, by the way, they're only $5 today, all right? They're on the table. We have a wonderful song called God Is All There Is. It's a great song by Eddie Watkins, Jr. 2, 3, 4. there is.
God is all there is in the beginning. God is all there is.
God is all there is.
God is all there is in the beginning. God. Jesus said that I and my Father are one. We're made in the image and the likeness of the one. Says God is who we are.
God is who we
Let
are.
God be what we show. Let's see the love in everyone. Everywhere we go, God is all there is.
God is all there is.
God is all there is in the beginning. God is all there is.
God is all there is.
God is all there is in the beginning. God, your mind is defined as the garden of your soul. And love and happiness when this falling falls from the beauty of creation reflected in your eyes. You see everything in order and we live in paradise. God is all there is. God is all there is in the beginning. God is all there is. God is all there is in the beginning. God, omnipresent, manifesting the cosmic unity, the ins and outs, the ups and downs, and everything in between. On the intellectual, orchestrated relativity, the power of creation is God's gift to you and me. God is all there is. God is all there is in the beginning. God is all there is. God is all there is in the beginning. God is all there is. God is all there is in the beginning. God is all there is. God is all there is in the beginning. God.
We are creating something wonderful. Thank you so much, Reverend Ahmondra, for that fabulous talk. And that's what I was thinking about. I was like, oh, now I have to do a collection. Whoa, people have given their time today. People have given their talents today. And now it's an opportunity to share our treasure today. So I just want you to perhaps close your eyes for just a moment and understand that this is a world of abundance. And we have set the law of attraction into motion in wonderful ways, in amazing demonstrations. And this time together itself is a demonstration of the law of good in action. So as we contribute to the financial support of this center, know that there is good for all of us flowing out in so many ways. And I know it is so. I give thanks it is so. And so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I
invite Reverend Ahmondra to give us a closing affirmative prayer. And afterwards, I'm going to invite everyone to join in our song, closing song, which is in the back of your program. And then I'm inviting everyone to join us in the lobby for a few moments of fellowship.
So please allow your eyes to close. And collectively, let's take a large breath together and just let it out. And right here, right now, in this space, this powerful space, we are all connected. We are one. We are one with the infinite intelligence, the energy that holds everything together, the glue. It's known by many names. Whatever resonates in your heart is what you call it. And right here, right now, as we are all one, I speak my word, and I speak my word from a place of my divine being, my joyous, happy, and free state. That state where all of us live. That is who we are. And as we move from this physical location out into our world, let us take with us our original consciousness, our original thoughts. Let us put that into the creative force in the universe so that every place we move this week, we are impacting it. We are allowing others to be free to step into who they are. We are sending a healing energy out into our country, into the world, knowing and understanding that we are making an impact. We consciously hold this thought in our mind no matter what we see, no matter what we hear, because we understand and we know that we have that power. Manifestation is a gift that we can use each and every second of our lives. I give thanks for this understanding and this knowingness. I give thanks for the physical space that we live in. I give thanks for understanding and knowing who we are as divine beings. And standing inside of this space and giving thanks and having gratitude for who we are, I invite you to anchor these words with me. And I send out healing energy to everyone here in our community that's not with us today, but it might be experiencing some discord in their physical being. I send them out healing energy. And right here, right now, I invite you to anchor these words with me by saying, and so it is.